What's up, guys? This is Scott here at the Furriers channel. I'm just coming at you with another video. I had a pickup. It wasn't a pickup. It came in the mail pickup. Mail up? Whatever you want to call it. Anyways, this is one that I've been wanting to add to my shelf, my X-Men shelf, for quite a while now. This figure, usually, if you see it in your toy store, local toy store, ours here where I live is called the Toy Department. The figure loose is usually has ranged around $80 to $100 loose. In the box, it's $1 to $130 plus, not plus, maybe just between $100 and $130 since I've been seeing the figure. And I've seen it when I've gone in the store since I've been wanting this figure for probably the past 3 or 4 years, maybe, or whenever the figure came out. I don't remember what year it was. So that figure is Professor Xavier for my X-Men shelf. They re-released it about freaking time. Never saw this in the store. I'm not even sure if it was an exclusive to Target or Walmart or whatever. You know how they do that. Anyways, been needing this for my modern X-Men shelf because, not that there's anything wrong with this figure still, I've been rocking the Toy Biz one on the shelf. So, for a wheelchaired feller, and the wheelchair is pretty good wheelchair to be honest, it's done great. But I was wanting more of that modern look with the new chair. Of course, Xavier-wise, I do have this one that's been really cheap on the Walmart website, about 15 bucks. Did a video on this one, and then told myself I wasn't going to get this one because, for one, I was like, I'm never going to see it in the store, and it's not available on the website every time I look. Savage Land, Professor Xavier. Walked into Target, wasn't looking for it, wasn't looking for anything, to be honest. I was just kind of killing time. Walked over, boom, the only one on the shelf. I was like looking, I was like, should I get it? I was like, if I don't get this figure, I probably won't see it until it's on the secondhand market at the Toy Department or on eBay. And then in my mind, I'm like, if I do pick it up, I'm going to see them everywhere. And then they'll be like 15 bucks on the website here pretty soon. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm not going to take the chance. I'm just going to go ahead and get him. I don't have a large Savage Land figure set. I think I could probably put one together. I would have to kind of go back and do a little comic book research, I guess you would say, to kind of see what that time period of all the X-Men figure or characters that look, because honestly I don't remember. I do remember this outfit pretty well, and I remember Magneto didn't have his helmet on. My memory's very, very faint and leaving from whenever I was younger. I feel like it seems like when they were there, they didn't have their powers. So I think it's kind of odd that they're showing like his powers, but whenever they were in the Savage Land, I'm pretty sure they didn't have their powers like him or Magneto did. Could be wrong. My memory is not that great, so I figured we would open this one, and definitely open this one. I think I will keep this box just in case I decide to sell, which it does happen. I know some people are like, oh, we'll never sell, I'll just throw the box. Some stuff like this I'll keep. Like, what was that? I was going to say, like my G.I. Joe figures. I sold all them. I kept some of the boxes for some of the stuff, and that came in kind of handy. Now, that being said, I did collect G.I. Joe for a hot second, but I kind of was like, I've never really been into G.I. Joe, even as a kid. So, I mean, I knew of G.I. Joe and I watched the cartoon, but I never collected or bought the figures. My mom didn't like G.I. Joe for some reason. So if my mom didn't like it, she wasn't going to buy it. So He-Man, she loved He-Man. She loved the Thundercats. Lionel, she liked cats. So Thundercats was real big in our house, and He-Man and Transformers. I think in my mom's head, she felt like G.I. Joe was too war-like, I guess, maybe, and the guns, which we weren't against guns, obviously, but I think as me being a kid and toys, for some reason, she just, I don't know. I don't know what her reasoning was. I'm just making stuff up. My mother's no longer with me, so I can't really ask her, which I wish I could have. But Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, and Star Wars. Star Wars, she kind of did a little bit for me, but when He-Man came out, it was like she was just getting all the He-Man characters, and Transformers I think were a little bit more expensive maybe, so I didn't get as much Transformers. I would get them on Christmas. He-Man though, I'd like randomly she would get me He-Man figures, so. Really wish I could have kept all that stuff, but as being a kid, I did take care of my stuff, but I had a younger brother that did not take care of stuff. He still doesn't take care of stuff, but being a kid, it happens. If you have siblings, it's just the way it is. So we're going to slide this bad boy out of here, but that was kind of my reasoning behind G.I. Joe. For space reason, and I just really wasn't into it. The only one that I really kind of wish I would have kept was Sergeant Slaughter, and I was kind of like, well, where would I put him? I could mix him in with Marvel Legends, I guess. My street heroes, like I've got like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, like kind of street level figures. I guess maybe I could have maybe put him on there, or with my Shield figures, I guess, which I have a very small Shield shelf with that 3-pack and that other figure, I can't remember her name. This did come in pieces here, and we have to put it together, which it doesn't look too complicated. You got the 2 pieces, you got your stand, looks like you got your seat, and you got the main man right there. The main man. No twist ties. No thingamajiggers to kind of hold him in there. Wow. Old pins and all. But price-wise, you can't beat that compared to what it is at the toy department. So, which I get it. I mean, that's what it was going for. So that's what they were listing it for. I can't remember if I had any other hands. He didn't come with any other hands, so he's basically looking like he's doing the business all the time. Legs are it's not that gummy plastic. It's definitely. You ever, your suited figures and how they feel, like that hard plastic, which I don't mind as long as the joints aren't real stiff. So he's going to be sitting really good. He's grabbing out. I don't know what that means. Like some Booker T, 5-time WCW champion. Is that how it goes? I can't remember. I love Booker T. So just thinking about Booker T, and I had the Monday Night Wars Booker T, and I freaking sold it. For some reason, which it happens, I sold all my wrestling figures, and I sold that Booker T, and now it's hard to find Booker T. Man, it just, I've looked to try to find Booker T, and even if it is popping up on the Walmart website or whatever, I haven't seen it on the Target one. It's too expensive. I can't pay. I'm not paying it. What, I think it was like $40 or $50 Just stupid. Stupid. Got a nice little stand. And this is cool because it's that other, I forgot what it's called. Don't get me lying. I'm just going to say something stupid. Anyways, you can put it on your kingpin. Switch that head out. I thought about maybe getting the Build-A-Figure kingpin and putting it on that one, but we will see. So he's got his little blankie, so he can keep his little laptop. I don't know what that means. And then he's got the Professor Xavier business sculpt thing for his telepathy or whatever you want to call it. So we're not going to throw this one. I'm not taking that stuff out. I'm leaving that in there until I get that kingpin, which that I said in another video I was talking about pickups. That is one that I would probably pick up. So other than that, that's it. So this looks like it just pops right in there. Speaking of pickups, I did a video a while back talking about the Maximum Spider-Man and how I was going to go ahead and order it and kind of compare it to the Spider-Mans I have. Well, you know what? People were already getting it way before I ever will get it, and I watched the videos and I made a decision. I canceled my pre-order. So I am not ordering the Maximum Spider-Man. I am not ordering the Maximum Hulk. I'm sorry. There's just, I like the thing they did with the chest, but it's just old sculpt. Like for the most part, like the legs and stuff is the same old stuff I have. I love Hulk. I'm not hating on it, but I don't need to spend $60 on something just because it can clap. I've got every Hulk figure just about that's came out. Even the Toy Biz one, the gray one. But I gave that to my son. So, I'm not going to get it. So, that's just kind of their thing they did. And I looked at some reviews of it and I just didn't see it. I'm like, I've got the Mafex one and I've got the Renew Your Vows one. I don't need it. I really don't. So, obviously I didn't get it. So I'm putting this together. It's pretty easy. It just popped in. The seat popped in. Flight gear went together. Super easy. There we go. So he just slides right in there. Oh man, I love it. I freaking love this thing already. And this little blankie goes right there. Oh man, this is just awesome, dude. I've been needing this. I was kind of afraid it was going to be too big in the area I was going to put it, but it's, dude, I love this. Okay, well worth it. I mean, to me, $49.99 compared to $120 or whatever it was. I'll buy that for $1. So I don't know how much this was when it actually first came out. I didn't look it up or anything because I'm not going to get it for that price. But man, that's awesome. I was so excited when I seen that, and it didn't sell out. So I guess everyone that wanted it had it. So good for me. It's going to be beautiful on the shelf with my X-Men figures. Going to have to retire the old goat. Pretty awesome. Just super awesome. That tie kind of is over to the side there. We got to straighten that up. Oh, yeah. Gotta look very professional. Oh man, I love that. I freaking love that figure. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna keep this and put it away. And slide that bad boy in there. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Oh. We got one more figure. I know this video is going way too long. I start rambling about stuff that doesn't make any sense, and it's not even about the figure. Then it ends up taking forever. So we'll go and do the quick opening of the Savage Land. I love these boxes, cards. I had all the X-Men that were carded at one point, and I just had them in the box, their carded box, whatever. And eventually I drank some beer one night, and I was feeling a little silly, and I just opened them all up. And more space was available. It was a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Beautiful box. Let's see if we can read the back of this. Got to get these. Once you get my age, everything gets a little blurry up close. In the treacherous jungles of a hidden Antarctic valley, Charles Xavier finds himself without his powers alongside Magneto against a slew of prehistoric creatures. I knew I was right. They didn't have any powers. My memory's not that bad. Yes, it is. My memory's always been bad. I don't think it's really an age thing for me. It's just I've never had a very good memory. Even as a kid, I remember in school getting the hands out and looking down. I'm not looking at you. But I always had a hard time remembering stuff. So I guess it was just my fate to have a bad memory. So he's coming out here nice and easy, no twist ties. Got some tape though. Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna compare these head sculpts here in a second. All right, I got him out. I can already tell you the arms on this one feel a little gummy, not too bad. Everything else feels pretty solid. Oh yeah, nothing like a figure that just came out. I can't smell anything. I remember back when I was a kid, that was a smell that just brought me joy, was opening He-Man figures and that plastic smell, and even Star Wars. I go into factories now, and every now and then some of them that deal with plastics, I guess, I can smell that smell, and I'm just like, it just takes me back to a time when I was younger, which is always super cool. This bad boy here is all pinless. He's got the ab crunch, that older ab crunch, and everything moves pretty good on mine. Not too stiff. He can twist and shout. And that's pretty much it. Taking a gander at him, it looks really good. I like it. Let's little bit of a difference, a little bit of a color difference, and maybe the jawline on this one's a little slimmer. And but this is an older figure, obviously. This one, he has the head sculpt that's not you know what I'm trying to say. Well, he's put up, and I'm not digging it out. I don't remember if the head sculpt was more like this one or not. I guess it doesn't really matter. So this bad boy here, though, and his old lady, they're still trying to find a home. I've got to figure out some shelf space for them too. So they're just kind of sitting to the side as of right now. So height-wise, though, they are looking pretty much exactly the same. I got their feet right at each other with that helmet. This one's a little bit taller, which is to be expected. So other than that, man, it's a good looking figure, a good looking Professor Xavier. I'm gonna have to bust out. I got a couple of Magnetos from Legends that I can set him up with. I think I might take the 97 X-Men head without the helmet and the long hair, and I'm gonna put that one on. I can't remember what, I think Magneto wore his regular outfit. I've got that one with the purple and the black. I really like that figure. I was actually trying to dig him out of the tub. I got this secret hidden spot in my house where I keep my tubs and my figures that I bagged and put away, and all their extra hands and all those goodies. But yeah, I want to get one of those out and see which one kind of goes better with it. I've got some other minimum Savage Land figures. Who is it? Where did he go? Oh, yeah, here he is. Kazar. Yep. I'm going to build, who is it? Sabu? Zabu? I said Sabu. Sabu. Anyways, building that one. I think I'm going to get my son to help me open all these, and we'll do a video. I think I showed this one too. Freaking crazy, man. Not available on any websites. All of a sudden popped up on Amazon. Cable. I told myself I wasn't going to get it. I wasn't going to be able to build Zabu. I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to be able to get that cable because he's going to be too expensive. And so I'm not going to mess with the wave. The only figure I bought was, I need my glasses. I can't see anything up close. And it's tiny. Yeah, Wolfsbane. So, Wolfsbane is the only one that I bought that I really wanted to finish out my 90s X Factor. So, and now I'm trying to finish another X Factor shelf. I can't do it because they don't let me get dadgum Gene. So, we got that wave to build Zabu. And like I said, I showed this earlier. Got this wave to build, what's his name? Nemesis something. I can't remember his name. Yeah, Nemesis. Seeing this figure loose, Nemesis, the Build-A-Figure. I guess it was a Build-A-Figure, and super expensive. Price should be dropping on that one since now they did this Build-A-Figure. So, like I said, I like to get off track when I'm doing this. We're doing Professor Xavier, and I'm looking at other stuff. We had some other pickups we'll do some videos of too that I just kind of wanted to throw in there. And this is classic Banshee. Oh, yes, I love it. And then I wasn't gonna get Dakin, the Wolverine's son, but I was kind of like, man, it's a Wolverine-ish figure. It's different, and it's not Wolverine per se, but it is Wolverine kind of. It's his son, and I wasn't gonna get it, and then something happened, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it, and I did. So, but that's it. I'm not getting any more figures for a while because I'm good to go. There's nothing I need, nothing I want. Maybe some wrestling figures. That's it. But they're not out yet. They're still pre-ordered, and I don't think there's going to be any issues with wrestling figures in the foreseeable future with this tariff thing, because from what I understood, I don't know if this is true, but if you listen to Kyle Peterson, he's a big wrestling figure picker-upper guy, and he's talked about they've been coming out of Vietnam. So, because I think he was talking about quality issues. So, I haven't seen any of those because I haven't opened any that maybe came from there. But you know what? We can look real quick. I think I got a figure that's here recent that came in. Let's see if it says. It's the Godfather. Let's see if it says somewhere on here. Mattel Elite Collect. Oh, here we go. UK, Canada, made in Vietnam. Components made in China. Okay, so the Vietnam got the parts from China. This one was an older figure that I got. This one was just made in China. And Let's see. This is a recent pickup too. That came in a while. Oh well, recent, about a week or so ago. So let's take a look here. Yeah, well, made in Vietnam. So pretty much all the wrestling figures. So we'll see when we get this one out, quality wise. So the parts are all still made in China, but components made in China, and they just put it together in Vietnam. When I was in the furniture business, you've seen that a lot too. You'll see made in the USA. I forgot what company it was. It was big on putting that on their stuff. Yes, they were put together in the USA, but the parts and stuff a lot of the time would come from Vietnam. So was it really made in the USA? It was put together in the USA, kind of. It was put in the box. I'm like, the tables and stuff would come in. It's like, I've got to put them together. What are you talking about? Made in America? The parts were all shipped in from freaking China. So I don't know, kind of weird. That's one way that companies kind of could get past the tariffs, because they would, I don't know how they'd work it, but the original tariff, this is just for me watching the news. I'm not saying anything other than what I was listening to. This wasn't like mainstream news. This was just independent news. They were talking about the original tariffs from the original Trump administration, the first Trump administration. The tariffs evidently were implemented, but what companies did was they would get the, like, kind of like what the Mattel did, I guess. I'm just guessing. I don't know if this is 100%, but this is how I kind of see it, to kind of move, not having to deal with the tariffs. Like, the parts are here, but it's put together here and shipped out of, like, Vietnam. So they're not getting hit with the bigger tariff. So that is, from what I understood. I could be wrong. You could put in the comment to say, well, you're wrong, you don't know. Well, maybe I am. I don't know. This is just what I gathered. I'm not whatchamacallit. So anyways, that's why there was this just blanket tariff across the board on everyone, to keep people from trying to do that. Like, basically, it's, we'll get it from China, or we'll do it like in China, but we'll send it here and it'll ship out of this country, so that, you know what I mean? That's what I kind of understood it to be. I could be wrong. This video is going way too long, and we're not even talking about Professor Xavier anymore. So I'm sorry. So anyways, y'all have a good one. We'll see you later. We're going to put together some Build-A-Figures here soon. Later.